Okay, let's look at an actual problem of our tax proration. This is the one that's in your book, and we'll go over it a couple of different ways to give you some strategies on how to attack it. But it's about the depth at which we would test you on. No harder, no easier than this. Braden is purchasing a property for $280,000 with an assessed value of 85%. The tax rate is $1.35. It's closing on April 17th. What is the tax proration entry? So you're dealing with a lot of stuff here. We've put everything that we can into this problem, and so we're going to make you work a little bit. Instead of me giving you the taxes, I'm going to make you work for them. So the price of the property is $280, but we're telling you that it's assessed at 85% of that number. So you're going to have to do a calculation before we get to where we were just a moment ago. 280 times 0.85 equals $238,000. So now we know what our tax assessment is, which is great, but we still don't know what our taxes are. Do you remember from an earlier chapter, to solve for taxes, $238,000 assessed value divided by 100 times the tax rate, which the problem gives us as $1.35. And I'm just going to trust my calculator on this. I have 238 divided by 100. Why 100? Because this is North Carolina, and that's the way we do it in North Carolina. Equals 2380, which is only important because I have to multiply that number by 1.35 to figure out my taxes for the year are $3,213 taxes for the year. All right, boom. So we got that out of the way. Now we're where we started in our practice problems, okay? So if the taxes are $3,213 for the year, I need to figure out how much they are per day. And do you remember in this class that our tax year is 360 days? So we're going to divide by 360, and we're going to get a strange number, of course. $8.93. I don't know if that rounded to anything different, but $8.93 is what I'm going to work for. So now we know that the taxes are $8.93 per day, okay? Now we look at some information. I always draw, sorry, we have some loud trucks in the neighborhood. I always draw a timeline to help me understand a couple of things. One is that we're closing on April 17th. Taxes are not due till 9/1. So I know that in this case, the taxes are unpaid, as I mentioned to you a little bit earlier. So what we need to do is think, when the taxes are unpaid, let's see, the seller hadn't paid them yet. So let's take from the seller and give to the buyer. So that the buyer will have them on September 1st. So now I'm going to come over here and say debit seller, credit buyer. Now it's just a math problem. How many days of this year is the seller responsible for? There's January, February, March, and 17 days in April. So 90 plus 17 is 107 days times $8.93 per day times 107, and that's $954.98. So $954.98. Remember, the attorney's putting this on the settlement statement, on the closing disclosure. Taking $954.98 from the seller, giving it to the buyer, and then making the adjustments as necessary according to the closing disclosure. That's a great example of what you're likely to see on the test.